You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family, your business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money. I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating that. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. I'm always enjoying what's going on in the world. There's, we always find fun to find something that we to enjoy. Now, if my son was here, he would say, Dad, all that matters is it's National Golf Lovers Day. That's all that matters. But he's not here and I am. So having beaten anorexia, I'm going with Cinnamon Bun Day. National Cinnamon Bun Day. Yep. Of course, I don't know. It's almost noon. As the day progresses, we might go to Taco Day. Yeah, Taco Day. Yeah, Josh, you're probably right. I should have gone there first. Let's go backwards. We'll go back. It's Fruit at Work Day because the other ones, I don't know if we're going to do at work. And, oh, look at that. They got the whipped cream on there. Good job, guys. National Eat Fruit at Work Day with a little whipped cream. Noticing some raspberries on there, and I saw some strawberries, whipped cream, kiwi. What else can we go for? Okay. Once we leave the office, don't do this at work, boys and girls. Taco Day. And how can you go with tacos without vodka? So the question is, what's your favorite place to get tacos? I put that on our social channels this morning. Our team made a nice graphic for that. I enjoy that. And what's your favorite vodka? We did a vodka tasting a couple years back. And it was all blind tasting. Now, I know you're going to say, Ron, once you tasted the first 2 or 3 types, don't they all taste the same? Well, no, we're just doing a little bit of a taste. We're not drinking the whole glass. But once we figured out what we like, then we go with the whole glass. I think we had in there Kirkland brand. Yeah, that was not too exciting. Then we added on there, we had Kettle One, Tito's, Reign, Belvedere, and Chopin. I think I like the Reign the best. I drink Tito's most frequently, but that's just a different story. So I don't know how far we want to go, how deep into that one we're going to go. But National Vodka Day is today as well. Looking at the markets, the roller coaster continues. So is this and the question is, the market as I record this right now, it's up 657 points as measured by the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Do they call this a dead cat bounce? No, cat lovers, don't start sending me messages. It's a market term. It means basically you're in the middle of a bear market. It bounces, goes up a bit, and then continues the ride down. That's a dead cat bounce. So is that what's happening? I'm going to say probably yes. I'm looking at oil up $2.84 a barrel. Why is that happening? I'm looking at gasoline prices $3.80 is the national average of a gallon of gasoline. Now, unfortunately, I am sitting here in the formerly Golden State paying $6.41 a gallon. $6.41. Now, Josh spun the wheel over there in Vegas. It's the only thing he can win on there in Vegas. $5.50 a gallon. So you're saving about $1 over what we're doing here, Josh. Jody's at $4.50 and Lori's at $3.10 a $3.10 a gallon. Now here's the irony of all of this. Florida. Now, you know that they had a major storm in Florida. They had major disruptions in Florida. No, our earthquake on Monday night doesn't count. That was just a little tiny thing. That's 3.1 or something like that. That doesn't count. Unless you're in Yorba, right where it struck, and then you probably felt like it was more than that. But think about this. Florida's paying $3.18 a gallon for gasoline. $3.18. And here in California, $6.41. Think about that one. Now, you're listening in the news. I know. President says, Florida, don't gouge anybody on gasoline prices. $3.18, that's not gouging. $6.41 in California, when you're talking about probably $1.25 in taxes and fees. And what do the oil companies say? Well, we have some planned maintenance. Okay, if it's planned maintenance on the factories, why didn't you plan and make more oil ahead of time or make more gasoline so that we wouldn't have $6.41? Now, that's all part of the fact that a week or so ago, we had oil prices that were significantly better than they are today. You remember that, right? We were talking about the fact that oil prices, when it got down below $80 a barrel, which it did about a week or week and a half ago, that the government said they're going to go in and buy oil. Well, now the oil prices are at $86 a barrel, and it's probably going to go higher. A lot of forecasters are saying going to $100 a barrel, which means gasoline prices will continue to increase. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just giving you the news. Good news, bad news. It is the news. That's the way it goes. Unbelievable. Joe Ingram is with us in the house. The show with no real boundaries. And okay, Joe. Okay, how does one become an operator standing by? I'll have to show that to you as well, Joe. We'll get you a special treat on that one. But hey, you know something? One of the things that I can do to help you right now, and we are helping a lot of folks trying to deal with what's going on in the marketplace, is dealing with your credit scores. So if you are out there thinking about buying a car anytime in the next 12 to 18 months, buying a house, debt consolidation loan to get rid of some of your bills, refinancing, any of those things, you want your FICO score to be the best it can possibly be. Your Credit Matters segment brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer, a free credit audit. You just have to pay for the $1 credit report. It's a very specific report that we use. There's a credit report and a FICO score report. We have one of each, $1 for the introductory and for the audit. And we'll give you some ideas on how to fix your credit. We'll actually go through a whole audit telling you all the things that are wrong with your credit report. And like I've shared with you in the past, I helped the first family, non-family member, the first family that was not part of my family, get the home loan in 1983. So I've looked at a credit report or two and done some studying on the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So we have a good idea of what can and cannot be there. What is the length of your credit history is the question. Even some people who haven't had credit for a considerable length of time can still have a high FICO score if the rest of their credit report looks good. A longer credit history will always have a positive effect on FICO scores. When it comes to length of credit history, your FICO scores take three things into account. Number one, how long your credit accounts have been open, including the age of your oldest account, the age of your newest account, and an average of all of your accounts. Number two, how long specific credit accounts have been open. Number 3, how long it has been since the account has been used. You can find all 3 items on your credit report. How to establish your credit history. The big catch 22 of growing your FICO score is that you need credit to get credit, and it's difficult to open credit lines to build your FICO score if you don't have a good FICO score. Fear not. You can absolutely do some things to help grow the length of your credit history. Here are a few to get you started. First, apply for a secured credit card. A secured credit card is a card where you provide cash collateral for the line of credit. FICO scores look at secured cards the same as any credit card. Most banks and lending institutions not only offer secured cards, but most also report secured card activity to the credit bureaus. Second, if you can find a friend or family member with good credit who could be a co-applicant with you, this will help you establish your credit history or see if they're willing to authorize you on their card. That's a lot to ask, but if they're willing, it's a good way to start growing your credit history. Finally, adopt a mindset where you see the length of your credit history as part of your greater long-term credit strategy. Use your card, but keep the balances low and pay on time or early. If you do, you'll find yourself well on the road to building a strong credit history that can put to work when you need credit. Visit rsrccpayment.com, rsrccpayment.com. It's about a 7 or 8 minute video where I show you the correct way to pay your credit cards, rsrccpayment.com. Consider whether or not to keep accounts open. You may be tempted to shut down that credit card that you just paid off after using years of making payments. Before you do, take a moment to consider what impact closing that account may have on your length of credit history. Next, you need to know about the credit mix. We're going to talk about that one. I think we got that one on for Thursday, but we'll get that one for you as well. What is your credit mix? That is the Your Credit Matters segment brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report, it is wrong. What are you doing about it? When we come back, the cost of waiting for mortgage rates to go down, we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about easy ways to save on Halloween, and we've got our On the Town segment brought to you by our friends at Visit Anaheim. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
79% of all credit reports have errors that should be corrected through factual disputing. You could be saving thousands every year if your report was accurate. CreditSanitizer.com provides a free credit report audit when you furnish a specific $1 credit report. You can use this information to request corrections to your report and potentially save thousands of dollars. Get your free credit audit at CreditSanitizer.com. That's CreditSanitizer.com for a free credit report audit. CreditSanitizer.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. Make the call, 800-306-1990. Had someone yesterday that decided to go with a different company. Shame on you. But they called anyway because they're getting to the close of escrow and find out that the company was doing an FHA loan on a project that was not FHA qualified. There was some credit issues in the background that made it non-qualifying, and thankfully they had not released their loan contingencies. But our friends at Geneva Financial, they're going to come into the rescue. They've got the white horse. They're going to save the day. Give a call, 800-306-1990. Let's look and see what's going on in the world right now as we record to you on this Tuesday morning, as we broadcast. And if you're listening to us on the weekend show, yeah, we do record these during the week so that we have them ready for you. So sometimes the concepts are all accurate. The numbers sometimes, they're based on right when we're recording. The S&P 500 now up 86.87. 10-year Treasury is down 3 basis points. Mortgage-backed securities are up 25 basis points. OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. These are the locks from October 3rd. 30-year conforming loan, 6.639. That was down. Jumbo loan, 6.437. That was down. FHA loan, 6.459. That was down. USDA loan, 6.382. That was down. And the best loan on the market, the 30-year VA loan, 6.327. That one was down as well. The question becomes, why? You gotta understand why these things are happening. Well, here's the issues that are out there in the marketplace right now. The UN, this is kind of funny because they do so much great stuff. You know better than that. Where's my message here?
You know better than that.
The UN called on the Fed and other central banks to halt interest rate increases for fear that it could send the globe into a recession and disproportionately impact vulnerable nations. The Fed has hiked the Fed funds rate at an aggressive pace from 0 to 3.25% in a short period of time. Our Fed funds rate is 1% higher from the next closest central bank and much higher than most others. Because of this, our Treasury yields have moved sharply higher, where you can now get a risk-free 6-month return of almost 6%. Quite attractive, and has caused many foreign investors to buy our Treasuries. Remember, when they do this, they have to take their currency, transfer it into dollars, which has caused our dollar to increase significantly. Looking at a chart, you can see how that goes. But here's the issue, is the stronger the dollar gets, makes it more challenging. And that's one of the reasons why oil prices are going up as well, is because of the strength of the U.S. dollar. We're also looking, the ISM manufacturing survey fell from 52.8 to 50.9, lowest readings since May of 2020. While that shows that manufacturing is slowing, the most important part of the report was that they said supply pressures were easing and there was a drop in prices paid, also the lowest level since May of 2020. This shows a potential easing of inflationary pressures, which helped bonds continue their strong rally yesterday. After Fed Vice Chair Brainerd's comments yesterday acknowledging the risk of continued tightening, we heard from the New York Fed president, always a voting member, John Williams. Williams did not echo the same risks, but did say that policy has begun to cool demand and reduce inflation, although their job is not yet done. He went on to say that he believes inflation could cool to 3% next year, which would cause interest rates to drop significantly. The Reserve Bank of Australia hiked their Fed funds rate by 1/4 to 260. That was a lower surprise. So that's some of the things that are going on in the marketplace right now. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to call 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. As I mentioned to you, I helped my first family, not my family, but the first family get a loan back in 1983. So I've been doing this just a day or two. There might even be some people that are listening that weren't born in 1983. I know my kids weren't. Josh, you weren't either, were you? Not 1980. That was before BJ. Well, I better not say BJ. That was before Josh. So, but I've had some experience in this. We started doing the radio program, and I shared this a little bit yesterday. We started doing this radio program in 2010. If you remember 2010, even you millennials probably remember 2010. It was not a great time in real estate. There were people that were losing their houses, foreclosures, prices on real estate was dropping dramatically. Couldn't get a loan. The money supply was tightening or non-existent. Do you remember Lehman Brothers, Bear Stearns, AIG? Well, we were around then. We were doing our radio program. We started in 2010. I have a lot of people ask me, Ron, why in the world would you get started doing something new like this when the market is so bad? And I said, here's the issue. Our mission at Ron Siegel Radio is, always has been, always will be, is to educate. Now, when we talk about educating, it's not just when the market is flying high like it was last year or the year before. Any Tom, Dick, or Harry could put a sign out in front of a house or not, and the house would sell you. Maybe you didn't even have to put a sign out. You just thought about it, and somebody would give you an offer. It didn't take any brains to do a loan, right? It wasn't quite as easy as 2005, 6, and 7, when the two conditions for a loan was basically, can you fog a mirror? Sign here. It was that easy. It's not quite that way now. You have to qualify. But last year and the year before, it wasn't that difficult. Well, times have changed. And I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke at you and tell you, hey, you know something? It's just as busy today for our team as it was back then. No, it's not. Almost anybody I know that tells you that it is, probably lying to you. But I'm going to share with you that we're still on the same mission. We're still doing the exact same thing, out to educate people on what's going on in this marketplace. And yes, I know that pending home sales have fallen. I know that sales of pending homes are down 24% year over year. So how do you get your offers accepted? Because there's not a lot of homes for sale. And we know that there's a lot of folks that don't know what they're doing in the loan business. They haven't all washed out yet. Many of them have, and many more will. But I would say since 1983, and this is 2022, if my math is right, is that 39 years since we've done our first home loan? Something like that. So here's the issue. We've got the experience to share with you, but don't do what I shared earlier in the Mortgage Minute, where a family called somebody that didn't know what they're doing. They didn't know the guidelines. And there's good people out there, and there's not such good people out there. But you're talking about your home. You're talking about your castle. You're talking about a lot of money. Give us a call first. Call our team before anyone else, and I will stake my reputation. Our team will stand up with anybody. I've got the best team available. We've got the best underwriter. My loan partner, Sean, is great. Our processor, Jody, is great. We've got a dedicated underwriter. So if I need to make a phone call, Sean needs to make a phone call, we can call and talk directly to the underwriter and find out what our solutions are or options are to make the process work for you. Now, that's a big benefit when you're talking to a mortgage banker. Mortgage brokers, generally, they don't get to talk to the underwriter. Not always, but generally. Big banks, generally, they're not talking to the underwriter. We call the underwriters directly and say, hey, what if we structure it this way? What if we structure it that way? What do you think? What have you seen in all of your years? And we put all of our years together. And I'm sure we've got over 100 years on our team of lending. So if we haven't seen it, it might not be out there. So we take a look, and I look at charts all the time to try and figure out, okay, what is the market doing? Where are we going in this market? And I look at active inventory. And if you look at it, and I think Josh has a chart of active inventory there that he can share with you. Take a look at that, and you can look and see. When we go back, a lot of times what we're doing is we're comparing our numbers to what was going on back in 2019. Why do we look at 2019? Well, that's kind of when we had a normal market. So 2019, you can see on our chart that we probably had, 850,000 homes, give or take, available for sale at that time. Or we're looking at toward that for the end of this year, or the end of that year, we had 850,000. Right now, we've got 561,000 homes available for sale. We're expecting that we're going to be somewhere around 440,000 homes available for sale. Again, if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, you're seeing this chart. We get this information from our friends over at Altos Research. And you can see that even though we've got a little bit of a spike in inventory, Still not a whole lot of inventory on the market. And we're seeing the new listings per week have also started to come down since we've seen all of these interest rate increases. Why would you sell your house if you've got a 2 or 3% mortgage going into a 4, 5, 6% mortgage if you don't have to? Well, maybe it's too big for you. Maybe you're looking at moving out of state, maybe a relocation, maybe you're wanting to retire. Those are all the reasons people are selling right now, even though they might not be so inclined. We're looking at our new listings every week. This is the chart of new inventory, single-family residential listings and immediate sales. 20% fewer new listings this year, fewest immediate sales since January. We're watching all of these charts for you. The median home price, and yes, I know the chart that we're showing is national. $435,000 is the median home price. And you can see that even though they've come down a bit, still above what they were in 2022. So we're watching all of these different numbers for you. And I'm going to talk to you in a minute about why would you be waiting. People that are selling their houses, they're not pricing them properly. They think it was January of 2022, not October. So 41.6% of the people are taking a price reduction right now. So they're not listing their properties at the proper prices, and they're having to reduce the price. That's not good for you. Now, I've shared with you, if you are selling a house, our team understands ways of getting around price reductions. I'm going to tell you, and I think we did this on a broadcast recently. I don't remember the date of it, but price reduction should be the third choice if your house is not selling as quick as you want it to. How about what's most important to the buyer? The payment. What if you help the buyer out with their payment? Costs you less, helps them more. So if you've got a listing that hasn't sold, instead of being one of that group of people that are cutting the prices, I'm going to share with you, before you cut the price, think about helping with the payment. Now, you've got to make sure that the world knows that you're helping with the payment. I'm going to also tell you that if you do it the wrong way, it'll blow up. So be careful of doing that the wrong way. If you want, again, I would suggest call our team. We'll help you do it the right way. We understand it. I've already talked to the underwriter. So the underwriters are all on board. They understand what we're trying to accomplish, and it'll help you out. That's why we say call us first. Don't call us last. We've got the experience. Again, on radio since 2010, probably 2,000 shows, maybe 3,000 shows. I don't know, meaning that we're on 6 days a week. We're constantly giving you more information. But hey, talking about the price cuts, I told you the national number of price reductions. Let's take a look at things a little bit more local where I'm at all the time. How about 92804? That's one of the Anaheim zip codes. 29% of the properties have had a price reduction. How about 92807? That's Anaheim Hills. 62%. Does that tell you something, Anaheim Hills? Maybe you're thinking your property is worth a bit more. Maybe you need to listen to your realtor. The other zip code in Anaheim Hills, 92808, 59%. Again, listen to your realtors. Go across the freeway to Yorba, 46% of the properties have had a price reduction. Newport Beach, 45%. Every one of these are above the national average. 50% for the city of Orange, price reductions. Palm Desert, 46% of the properties have had a price reduction. And just because I like wine, I put Paso Robles in there. 55% of the properties in Paso Robles have had a price reduction. And don't think I forgot you, Yorba, 56% of the properties have had a price reduction. So I know I gave you a lot of numbers there. If you want your zip code, go to rsrlistana.com. I think it is rsrlistana.com. Josh is going to put it on the screen for us because he knows these things and I don't. So you can go in there, rsrlistana.com. You can go in there. I know that's going to give you an Anaheim report, but go put your zip code in there. See what comes back. Figure out what your zip code is doing, where the prices are in your zip code, and then call our team. Set up a strategy call. It's free. We help with the financing. We help with the strategies for sales. So you're not doing a price reduction until the third option. Third option. If you want all the options, just send us an email, rj@ronsiegelradio.com, rj@ronsiegelradio.com, and we'll get that back to you. Put a note message on any of our socials. What are the options so I don't have to reduce the price on my house? Help me. More than happy. And being that I am not a realtor, I can share the information with you. I do have a real estate license. I don't do any real estate. Not looking to infringe on your realtor. Just wanting to help you. That's what we've been doing since 2010 on radio, now 6 days a week. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, the cost of waiting for mortgage rates to go down. Easy ways to save on Halloween and on the town. Brought to you by Visit Anaheim. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Is your budget getting blown up with high prices of gas and increased costs for other household needs? This is Ron Siegel, host of the daily home and finance radio program. Did you know if you have a low interest rate mortgage along with auto debt, credit card debt, or student loans, your family could potentially save $500 or more per month by restructuring these debts? If you'd like a free Borrow Smart analysis with our team, let's book an appointment to see how we might be able to relieve some stress. Schedule an appointment at rsrbsa.com. That's rsrbsa.com for your free Borrow Smart analysis. rsrbsa.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. Best source out there if you want to know the value of your property, rsrhomescout.com. Fourth button over, it's going to tell you the price that's listed on 4 different valuation models, rsrhomescout.com. You can also go and look at the first button on there, and it has the properties that are on the market. 97% of the United States is listed right there. Not just your local market, 97% of the United States. Register and get the information you want right there. Cost of waiting for mortgage rates to go down. Mortgage rates have increased significantly in recent weeks, and that may mean you have questions about what this means for you if you're planning to buy a home. Here's some information that can help you make an informed decision when you set your home buying plans. The impact of rising mortgage rates. As mortgage rates rise, they impact your purchasing power by raising the cost of buying a home and limiting how much you can comfortably afford. Here's how it works. Let's assume you want to buy a $400,000 home. The median priced home, according to the National Association of Realtors, is $389,500. That's single family condos, townhomes, PUD, everything. If you're trying to shop at that price point, again, not in California, and keep your monthly payment about $2,500, $2,600 or below, here's how your purchasing power can change as mortgage rates climb. And again, if you're watching this on ronsiegelradio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, you're seeing a buyer's purchasing power chart. If you would like to see a chart for different purchasing powers, let us know, rj@ronsiegelradio.com. We've got the numbers for you. So, loan amount, $440,000, 6% interest, $2,638 a month. But if the rates go up to 7.5%, that's $3,077 a month. Can't afford it. But let's go back to what I was saying. You want to keep your payment between $2,500 and $2,600. At 6%, you can afford a $440,000 house. At 6.5%, $2,528. That's a $400,000 house. If you go to 7%, you can only afford $380,000. Ooh, this is getting serious. If you go to 7.5%, you can only afford $360,000. That's $80,000 off, 20% less purchasing power. That's principal and interest. I know you have to add taxes and insurance and all the other stuff, but I'm just giving you an idea for educational purposes only. What happens with your purchasing power when you're looking at increasing interest rates. As you can see, as rates go up, the amount you can afford to borrow decreases, and that may mean you have to look at homes at a different price point, unless you call your friends at the Siegel lending team, because what do? We try and work on a payment assistance program. It can trigger high cost and predatory lending rules if it's done incorrectly. That's why we try to do it correctly. That's why it's important. You need to give a call to us. We work closely with your real estate advisor so you can understand how mortgage rates impact your monthly mortgage payment. I was chatting with somebody over the weekend. It was, and don't hold me to the rates, because rates over the weekend and off hours are never the best rates. They hedge them. It's a whole different story. I'm not going to get into it, but the rates are hedged over the weekend. So even if you find a lender that's working 24 hours a day and 7 days a week, the rates they give you on the weekend are going to be hedged rates. They're not going to be legitimate. So here's the issue. I looked at, there was a property listed, I think it was right around $800,000. The buyers are making an offer at $700,000. Not exciting to the seller. And on top of that, they wanted $25,000 in lender and seller concessions. So it's basically taking $125,000 off the list price. And then they were going to get a 6.25% interest rate. So I said, okay. And the realtor called me and said, Ron, does this make sense to you? And I said, let me take a look. Ran some numbers. Again, we're just using whatever the weekend rates are, because weekend rates are not as good as weekday rates. In fact, in many instances, you can't even lock them. But if you do, you're going to be locking high. So that's fine. So then what you're going to do is, we looked at it and we said, okay, instead of doing a $100,000 haircut, what if we, or actually $125,000, what if we do a $50,000 haircut? We can give them a $600 a month savings on their payments and get more money for the sellers. Do you think that idea works? Do you think that they're telling you that on the online lenders? No, they haven't even heard of how to do that. They might next year or the year after. And it was for 30 years, not just for the 3-2-1 or 2-1 buy downs where it's a temporary issue. Now, can we do those temporary? Sure. But wouldn't you rather have that payment assistance for the life of the loan? That's the difference. So as mortgage rates go down, the rise in mortgage rates and the resulting decrease in purchasing power may leave you wondering if you should wait for rates to go down before making your purchase. Realtor.com says this about where rates could go from here. Quote, many home buyers likely winced upon hearing that the Federal Reserve yet again boosted its short-term interest rates by 0.75 percentage point, a move that's pushing mortgage rates through the roof, and the already high rates are just going to get higher, unquote. So if you're waiting for mortgage rates to drop, you may be waiting for a while as the Federal Reserve works to get inflation under control. If you're considering renting as your alternative while you wait it out, remember that's going to get more expensive with time too. As Nadia Evangelou, senior economist and director of forecasting at the National Association of Realtors, NAR, says, quote, there is no doubt that these higher rates hurt housing affordability. Nevertheless, apart from borrowing costs, rents additionally rose at their highest pace in nearly 4 decades, unquote. Basically, it is true that it costs more to buy a home today than it did last year, but the same is true for renting. This means either way, you're going to be paying more. The difference is with home ownership, you're also gaining equity over time, which will help grow your net worth. The question now becomes, what makes more sense? 5, 6, 7% interest rate on buying a house, or a 100% interest so to speak, for renting. Bottom line, each person's situation is unique. To make the best decision for you, let's connect, explore your options. Give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Again, RonSiegelRadio.com. And remember, if you have any friends, family, or coworkers looking to buy, sell, or borrow on real estate, can I count on you to give them our number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And if you are looking to buy, sell, or borrow, don't forget free. I like giving away free stuff. The fall home buyers and sellers guides are available for free. rsrhbg.com, rsrhbg.com. Or you can text HBG to 79564. Or you can get the seller's guide, rsrhsg.com, rsrhsg.com, or text HSG to 79564. Get the home seller's guide right there, rsrhsg.com. Good at giving, a lot of giveaways today. So just to recap, we gave you the buyer's guides just now, and I think earlier we told you how to pay your credit cards the right way. rsrccpayment.com, rsrccpayment.com. And I should tell you, if you want a free credit audit, comes out full color pamphlet made exclusively for you because your credit report is different than everybody else's. Go to creditsanitizer.com, creditsanitizer.com. And the other one, I think you can text credit score to 79564, credit score to 79564. And you can get signed up for a free credit audit. Now you have to get a soft pull, which means you have to do it for $1 for one of the two different credit bureaus that work with our platform. But credit score to 79564, get started there, and we'll do a free credit audit for you, and it'll help you out a lot. It's amazing. Like I've said this before, $500,000 loan just a couple weeks ago when I looked at it, the difference between a 650 FICO and a 730 FICO was about $236 every single month. That would be about $3,000 a year. That means, what's that, $90,000 for the life of the loan, give or take? Think about that concept for the full 30 years. And I love doing this segment. This is one of my favorite segments every week. On the Town, brought to you by our friends over at Visit Anaheim. On the Town, brought to you by Visit Anaheim. Major event of the week. The Phoenix Club presents Oktoberfest. Take time out. Your lender hose. Not take time out. Time to take out your Lenderhosen and dirndls. The Phoenix Club. You don't want to see me in either one of those. The Phoenix Club in Anaheim prevents the longest running and most authentic Oktoberfest since 1960. Join the Phoenix Club in their indoor beer hall in the main building and outside in the beer garden, reoccurring every weekend until October 23rd. Celebrate their final year at this location with authentic German food, beer drinking, and Stein holding contests, special for performances, and music by Oktoberfest favorites, the Express Band. Das Stubenbuben. I don't even know how to say that one. Das Stubenbuben. And fan favorite Oktoberfest DJ Musikmeister. Try saying those if you have a few too many beers. Please keep in mind, Fridays and Saturdays, 21 plus only. Sundays welcome all ages. Get your tickets and parking vouchers in advance online. The romantic event of the week. Now, this is pretty interesting. This is a romantic event, not Scary Farm. Celebrate the season with your loved one at the longest and most haunting Halloween event in Southern California every weekend until October 31st with unimaginable scares and innovative thrills that can't be found anywhere else. This fully transformed theme park features uniquely haunted mazes and attractions, sinister shows, and more than 1,000 horrifying creatures lurking in the fog and hiding in every corner of the park. These haunted attractions have the ingredients of a truly terrifying nightmare. Reservations are required. Purchase your tickets online. The family event of the week, Pumpkin Palooza. Visit Orange County's first ever Pumpkin Palooza Festival at the Discovery Cube Orange County Museum. Kids can dress in their favorite costumes, join Pumpkinology 101 activities, inflatable corn and hay bale mazes, bumper cars, and dance to Halloween-themed music at the Pumpkin Palooza Dance Party. To attend the festival and dance party, you must purchase an event ticket in addition to your general admission ticket or membership. Each pre-sale ticket is $5. The event reoccurs every Thursday through Sunday or Monday, now until Halloween weekend. That's On the Town, brought to you by our friends at Visit Anaheim. I love On the Town. Always finding something exciting to do. On the Town, brought to you by our friends at Visit Anaheim. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, easy ways to save on Halloween. We'll come up with some more stuff for you as well. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
79% of all credit reports have errors that should be corrected through factual disputing. You could be saving thousands every year if your report was accurate. CreditSanitizer.com provides a free credit report audit when you furnish a specific $1 credit report. You can use this information to request corrections to your report and potentially save thousands of dollars. Get your free credit audit at CreditSanitizer.com. That's CreditSanitizer.com for a free credit report audit. CreditSanitizer.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report and it is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer, free audit. Free. No charge. You get a full written report, full color, customized just for you. You do need to provide a very specific credit report. Costs you $1. But then you get a free audit of the rest. Easy ways to save on Halloween. Halloween with haunted houses, ghoulish festivities with your little ones, and tricks and treats abound. It's a fun holiday, no doubt, but it can also get pricey too. Doling out cash on costumes to candy and pumpkins can add up quickly. According to the National Retail Federation, spending for Halloween-related purchases in 2021 was estimated at $10.14 billion, up from $8.05 billion in 2020. The average amount spent per person in 2021 was $102.74. Ooh. Josh, you have 2 kids? $102.74 each person? Ooh. I'm glad my kids are old. Of course, I guess that means my wife's going to want to spend more for the grandkid. And that number will most likely increase this upcoming season. If not careful, you can easily rack up debt that cascades into end-of-year holiday expenses, especially since Halloween is on the heels of obligatory back-to-school shopping. Let's take a look at how you can put on your Savvy Savers hat and look for simple, fun ways to save some dollars on your Halloween spending. Host a costume exchange. Tired of wearing that pink flamingo costume for the 5th year in a row, but don't really want to throw down cash for an expensive get-up you only get to wear once a year at most? Consider hosting a costume exchange. You can wrangle some friends, family, or post on a local Nextdoor or Facebook community group. Ask folks to bring items that are in decent condition that adults, kids, and pets could get up get up in for a costume party or round of trick-or-treating. If you're a member of your neighborhood Buy Nothing group, you can start a Halloween thread to see if anyone is gifting costumes, festive home decor, and goodies you can hand out to trick-or-treaters or for a gathering. Think sweets, stickers, and little toys. Shop in your closet. You don't need to have achieved a high level of mastery with a sewing machine or needle and thread to create your own costume. You don't even need to step foot outside of your home. Comb through your closet and look through those boxes in your storage to see if there's any clothing or accessories that can be repurposed into a costume. For instance, if you have a pair of bee wings, you probably have a pair of bee wings just hanging around. Who has a pair of bee wings hanging around? Think about how you can use them to be a bee in a popular culture versus just a standard honeybee. Or if you have an outfit from your youth that still fits, consider being you of yesteryear. Probably the only thing that I could do because most people aren't going to have clothes or a costume that fits me. Look for items year round. Sure, Halloween is just once a year, but that doesn't mean that you need to do your shopping for decorations, costumes, and treats right before. Consider looking for sale items the week after the holiday, or you can get started as early as the first week of September. Too late for that right now. I personally have snagged many a ceramic pumpkin or vintage black cat knickknack. Yes, I've got some of those in different areas. And because it's not the season, Halloween items will likely be on sale. Just because I'm cheap, I generally go Halloween shopping in November. Per the NRF, that's National Retail Federation, Americans spend on average $30 on Halloween candy alone. That can easily spike depending on how many kids you anticipate knocking on your door. If it makes sense money-wise, consider creating your own treats. It's probably an oldie that you're not going to do anymore. Throw away the Skittles and the Sweet Tarts this year. For instance, it might be more cost-effective to make your own caramels or 3-ingredient ghost cookies for those people that you know. Only the ones you know. Don't give those out to just the random trick-or-treaters. Considering handing out less expensive non-edible treats such as stickers, mini erasers, sundry plastic toys. These can have a lower price tag than candy, plus they don't go bad. Attend free haunted houses. Do a search on social media or read up on listings in an arts and culture publication that covers local events, or you can scour the entertainment section of a newspaper to see what free haunted houses, hay rides, and other forms of frightful, fun denizens of given area are concocting. Love those items. To avoid a holiday debt hangover, although you want to be proactive and drum up simple ways to save, the good news is there's no shortage of ideas. With a bit of resourcefulness, ingenuity, and planning, you'll be able to enjoy Halloween on a budget. That is the Your Credit Matters segment brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? And trick or treat, let me give you some more treats because they're all free. You can go to rsrnodebt.com, rsrnodebt.com. Give you a way to get out of debt. Maybe get some of those debt consolidation loan in there. Free credit book, rsrcreditbook.com, rsrcreditbook.com. Get that free credit book. 7 steps to a 700 FICO score. 7 steps to a 700 FICO score. Again, as I share with you all the time, been doing the radio program since 2010. Yes, some of you don't even remember back in 2010, but yes, I've been doing 2010, and we started in a horrible time in real estate so that we could be here for you. It's not a horrible time in real estate. I know things are a little tough out there. Some people, they're a lot tough out there, but give us a call. Let us give us an opportunity to help you out in saving money. Debt consolidation will help you with your budgeting and bringing down those interest rates through either our payment assistance program or through the FICO scores. All of that helps you. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh, who's engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
just push me over the limit. I'd like to call him something.